Dyer. The first for the week, so Monday through Friday, and since Monday's Monday. Welcome. Hope you have a fine weekend and brilliant out the world is on. And do feel free to join the usual channels via facebook.com/Nigeria Info PH, via Twitter @Nigeria Info, YouTube Nigeria Info PH. Do like and follow our pages as appropriate. And the time to call 0817-923 and 0002 or 0817-923 or 081-90007. No issues lined up for just let's take a quick look at what those are to expect on today's edition of the show. But side coming up shortly, random stories, some thoughts of mine on these stories. They're not discussed now, however. Much later during the season segment on these matters. And all the others discussed on the show today, by the way, especially the chance to do so at the time they've been discussed. Now, I've got a rant coming up after that of expressing thoughts on one major issue, like the all taking that all the way to 4 p.m. Now, 4 p.m. got business news coming up and rant. Elections in Nigeria. Elections. Elections was unfair, constantly used by politicians, political parties, election umpire, in our case, INEC, government, to describe our election. Are they truly fair? Or can any term, even free and fair, be used in describing or be associated with elections in Nigeria? It makes you wonder, especially when you hear stories like this. In New Law, announces fake election results. That's from this day. Now, here's a story. A rather pressing point of electoral scandal at any tuition in part INEC, such as the election commissioner of Adamawa State, who do University, the candidate of APC Senator Aisha Dahiru as winner of the membership at Adamawa State Commission of Police and the director of the Department of State Services DSS in the state, curiously provided cover for the wreck during the fake declaration of Binani's victory. It's another instance of security agencies to undermine free, fair, and credible electoral process in the country. But yesterday is described as no vote and of no effect declaration of Binani as of the governor. The commission summoned the wreck returning officer, the other officials involved in a false declaration of Binani's victory to the commission's headquarters in Abuja. Now, this following heat the declaration had generated. Remarkable stuff. I mean, you can't help some this. You can't. It's remarkable indeed. We'll ask this in the 4 o'clock hour. I'd like to get your take. What is the biggest challenge? I'm sure there are a myriad of problems, possibly a never-ending roll of parchment as far as descriptives or highlighting or discussing or explaining the challenges with elections in Nigeria or with conducting credible elections in Nigeria. But I'd like to get your take on what you suppose is the biggest challenge with conducting credible elections in Nigeria. We'll discuss this in the 4 o'clock hour after the business news. Taking us to 5, the news update comes up at 5 o'clock. And Nigeria is, quite well, in a number of issues. I know, you're shocked. Here is one of the things Nigeria is doing quite well as far as Unity of Nations is concerned. Here's a story from The Guardian. Nigeria ranks 8th most fertile country as global rate drops by 50%. Yes, indeed. Nigeria is doing well. Here's a bit of story. Despite a fascinating chart that highlights how the world is in the midst of a reproduction crisis, as countries want of love with their children, African countries top the chart of most fertile nations in the world, with Nigeria ranking 8th. According to the report published yesterday by Ndele UK in 2020, the global average fertility rate, the average of children born to A1 was 2.3 compared to 4.7 in 1970, a staggering 15% drop over half a century. As severe and a 2-birth woman average. The study I do, the fertility suggests fertility rates shrink in much of the world that continue to grow in Africa. 31 of the top 32 countries with the highest fertility rates on the continent was Nigeria and the world with a rate of 6.9 children per woman. All the world's leaders in fertility rate are in Africa: Somalia, Chad, DR Congo, Mali, Central Africa, Angola, Nigeria, Benin. The top 10 countries in terms of fertility rate, all of which have like 6 children or 6 birthsmen. Is this, by the way? I was in a conversation with a colleague outside the studio before I came in, and I was talking about this topic, and I'm not sure really. It's a bit complex. Children are a blessing, right? Like our people is God that gives children. They're a blessing, I suppose. Now, is it a good thing that Nigeria or African countries are leading the rest of the world when it comes to fertility rates? A good thing. Well, I'll also be asking you, why is it that we're leading the world when it comes to putting children or adding to the population, but why are we unable to satisfy the aspect because what's poverty, we're in the world, employment, Africa is in the world, Nigeria as well. Or in the number of out of school children, Nigeria as well. We are mass producing those children. We are educating them. So when it comes to achieving the aspirations of human beings, we're not doing great. When it comes to manufacturing these human beings, oh, we are trying. We're I'd like to get your tickets at 5 o'clock after the updates. Headlines 5:30 and major news comes out about the hour at 6. A review of all of this is up after that during the open season segment until about 7 o'clock. For extra time by 7. So there you have a preview of what to expect on today's edition of the show. Let's get things going now with today's side comments, random stories today, and my thoughts. A reminder that these side comments of mine are not to be discussed at this time. Some very sad developments here. 3 policemen this afternoon are said to have died when their vehicles were chasing us. 5 policemen, but 2 were rushed to the hospital unconscious. An eyewitness spoke to a reporter. A very, very sad situation indeed. And just a moment while I whip that up. 167, and here it is.
We heard a sporadic shooting along the road, and a lot of people ran in at first. But when the shooting had stopped, we came out to actually verify what was happening. And then onlookers who were close by told us that
really. And for those who are said to have been rushed to the hospital, I really hope that they're able to that they recover. And it's very sad indeed. But more in a moment. I had to be banned. Port Harcourt, I'm Dyer, and I'll say before the break, unfortunate situation. Reports have it that we've lost 3 police officers in a road accident somewhere along the East-West Road, and that 2 others were rushed to a hospital. Once again, I pray for the families and those who are not. I very much pray for recovery as well. But, well, I wish all the officers of the River State Police Count the very best in this very difficult moment indeed. Nancy, what else caught my attention on the news today? Rivers of National Orientation Agency and a young Ayatamada expressed concern over the eroding value of human dignity in society. Ayatamada, in an interview with our correspondent, was reacting to the increasing rate of mob action in different parts of the country. He said human life should be respected at all times, irrespective of the prevailing circumstance or situation. He advised youths against taking laws into their hands, but to explore legitimate channels of seeking redress. Let's take a listen to what the NOA man had to say on this situation.
Nobody has the right to take the life of another person, and we expect that in such cases that the security agencies should be approached. It is a concern for us because looking at our values, our societal values, we are beginning to completely lose respect for the human person, which are key components of our constitution, particularly chapter 4, which has to do with human rights. For us as an agency, we find the development quite appalling and condemnable.
Yes, indeed. There's never a reason to take the law into your own hands. And as far as I'm concerned, people who engage in jungle justice are criminals themselves. And don't get me wrong, I'm not talking about the criminal act of killing somebody else. That is a crime. What I mean is this. They're actually criminals before they committed the other criminal act of killing somebody or taking the laws into their hands. They are criminals. That's what they are. That's what I believe. Somebody steals a loaf of bread or whatever, or a phone, whatever it is. You want to start running around. It's so bizarre in many cases. You even find instances where they don't even know what happened. Somebody just starts shouting, thief, thief, thief. And some nuisance who does not even understand what happened, was not there, doesn't bother to ask any questions, just hears somebody shouting thief. Next thing starts running around looking for a plank. Somebody else, one other criminal goes around looking for a tire, and another criminal goes around looking for some other incendiary material, matchbox, diesel, petrol, whatever it is, to light the person up. They're all criminals. They are thieves also. People like that are thieves as well. More often than not, they are, because it's hard to find. It's highly unlikely that a sensible person would engage in an act like that. They're thieves as well. They're also criminals. That's what they are. It's a very sad situation, really. Let's see, what else caught my attention? I think that's just about it. Some more the matter, I suppose. Where is that? Just a moment. Some of the matter that concerned INEC, I believe, was... Well, I can't find that right now, sadly so. But something about some INEC official that was beaten up. I think INEC official was beaten up in Adamawa State. Well, that will come up, I suppose, in the course of the conversation. But we'll have to wrap up the side comment on this note. I must move on. But once again, goodness, it feels so terrible, really, regarding the story of the incident of the police officers who lost their lives. It's a very sad thing indeed. CP Kong and his team, his men, the very best, really. You know, wish them the very best indeed. I'll go break when I return to come. Welcome back. It is Hard Factor Nigeria Info here in Port Harcourt. I'm Dio. And I'd like to rant for just a bit. Yes. There's something in my mind. I'm expressing some thoughts in it. I'd like to get your second mind all the way till 4 p.m. I don't know. If you're a student of literature, you very likely must have heard about the novel by Charles Dickens. Yeah, Charles Dickens. A Tale of Two Cities. A Tale of Two Cities. Now, today's rant, that's a very popular novel, by the way. Today's rant could be described as not a tale of two cities, but a tale of several wars. A tale of several wars. And some item that made it onto our news, several of our bulletins actually, earlier on today. But it's such a woeful narrative. It's so extremely distasteful and a descriptive of the dysfunctions of our society. I mean, the kinds of things that should never happen. The kinds of things that, if it did happen, I mean, what ought to be on the news now is people being arrested, people being dismissed, people facing prosecution, people being jailed. There should be public outcry and condemnation of this. But sadly, another testament to the dysfunctions, we very likely will not hear anything of the sort. It's so painful to the ears, but something that I perceive might not even trouble too many persons, because these dysfunctions have more or less become part of the Nigerian system. You know, that's how we do it here. It's a very unfortunate thing indeed. But like I said, it's still several words. Let's check out the story now. There's several stories, but this is the first part of it. Several stories I'll be reading on this matter. Residents of Ndele community in Emohua local government area reportedly started fleeing their community over fears of reprisal attacks from the Nigerian army. Let's stop there for a bit. Like I said, it's a tale of several wars. Why should civilians be fleeing their homes because they are afraid that the Nigerian army will come? I mean, in society's world, people are happy when there are reports that security operatives, whatever nomenclature, say the army, for example, are coming. Yes, there might be some concern as to why they are coming, but that they are coming is a good thing, because what it probably means is that there has been a security breach the army or whatever other security agency it might be, the police, whatever it is, they are coming to restore order. They are coming to restore sanity. They are coming to restore the peace. So people should be comforted by this. They could be concerned because something triggered their coming, but knowledge that the army is coming should be comforting. But in Nigeria, and in this particular case, knowledge that the army is coming did not comfort the people. No, it didn't. It rather induced trepidation, fear. So much so, enough of it that the people had to flee their homes. Back to the story. Now, it follows a clash between a member of the disbanded OSPAC, a gift Ajuro, and some personnel of the Nigerian army over alleged proceeds from illegal oil bunkering activities in some parts of Ndele community. Let's pause there again for a bit. So, reportedly, some army officers had their guns taken from them, from some fellow, a gift Ajuro. Reportedly as well, proceeds from illegal oil bunkering activities. But by the way, for so long a time, it's been reported, it's been discussed how security operatives are colluding with these persons, engaging in oil theft, illegal oil bunkering, coal fire, you name it. Why have our security agencies not received intelligence reports about no intelligence? No intelligence. All of a sudden, the DSS is not getting intelligence reports about this one. The Nigeria police force is bereft of intelligence. Nobody is. Then 5 years or 10 years from today, there will be a breaking report of all of a sudden somebody will discover one pipe. Somebody will discover a pipe somewhere, and then we'll start celebrating the discovery of a pipe somewhere. Saying that the pipe is being used to, then you will find one spokesperson of a security outfit, standing there, very proudly in a starched uniform. So yeah, is it where we located the pipe? This was based on intelligence. This was based on intelligence, and our men we stormed the place. You can see the pipe. You can see that it has been buried under the ground, and we have unearthed it. We uncovered the pipe. It's not easy to uncover a pipe. I'm sure that you have never uncovered a pipe before, but we did it. We did it based on intelligence gathering. We uncovered it. We uncovered it. Back to the story. Now, the soldiers reportedly later reinforced and came back to the community in search of the 2 rifles collected by the disbanded OSPAC member. So this army of officers had their guns taken from them. They had their guns taken from them. Reportedly, of course, an eyewitness spoke to our correspondent on this, and told our correspondent that the situation led to the burning down of Ajuro's building. Down of his building. Why will this happen? Yeah, Gift Ajuro reportedly committed a crime, right? By, I don't know, of course, reportedly engaging in oil theft. Was the army officers of the... How he was able to do that, I really have no idea. I'm trying to fathom that one out, trying to figure it out. And then the army reinforced and came, like I said, it's a cacophony of unfortunate incidents, really. Several. The entire story is an unfortunate incident, and there are so unfortunate incidents embedded in this grand unfortunate incident. So he dispossessed army officers of their guns. And then they came, supposedly, allegedly, just a while ago, during the side comments, I was talking about, I read a story on the NOA man in Rivers State here, young item, talking about jungle justice. And you wonder, and then the same army of security operatives, a spokesperson will one day come and say, we have been telling Nigerians to not be taking the laws into their own hands. Don't be taking the laws into, if something happens, report at the nearest police station. Report. Then the police spokesperson in Rivers State will say that there's nothing we can do if you have not reported to the nearest DPO. There's nothing we can do. Now, reportedly, the army are the one taking the laws into their own hands, going to burn somebody's house for seizing guns from the officers. Have they even asked why? What situation were the officers in when the guns were seized from them? But anyways, let's take a listen to what an eyewitness told our correspondent.
One of the army was able to untie the two persons he tied inside bush. They now called all army people. Throughout yesterday night, around 2-7, the whole of Ndele was so quiet. Nobody was moving on the road. Everybody ran away. Some persons didn't sleep in their house, slept along the road where they were coming, some inside bush. So that very yesterday night, they were looking for this, our OSPA commander, to see him. Even they had a serious open fire. As I'm talking to you, they burnt his house yesterday night. I don't know whether he has come back this morning. Now they are having open shootouts. I'm talking to you now, the next people. No church today. Nobody is going out. Everybody is indoor. We are inside bush as I'm talking to you now.
Wow. So once again, the reason these people are inside bush, to borrow the expression of the eyewitness, is not because a foreign country has invaded Nigeria. No. It's not because Nigeria is at war. No. It's not because mercenaries sent by some foreign entity were sent to wage some kind of clandestine war. No. It's not because Boko Haram or ISIS or ISWAP has stormed Ndele in Emohua local government area. No. The reason the people entered bush and deserted their homes is because the Nigerian army stormed their community. And once again, why did the Nigerian army storm their community? Because somebody dispossessed some of their officers of their guns. Why? Reportedly, allegedly, they were involved in oil bunkering or theft. This story is giving me a headache. But let's go back to it. Let's go back to the story. Now, here's an update to the story, by the way. The chairman of Emohua local government area, Ndele Lloyd, says normalcy has returned to Ndele community as the military has recovered its rifles illegally collected from two of its personnel by a member of the disbanded OSPA, Gift Ajuru, on Saturday night. You might remember that on Sunday, residents of Ndele fled the community when soldiers reinforced in search of their rifles, which were collected by a disbanded OSPAC member during an argument allegedly over proceeds from illegal oil bunkering activities in the community. But Dr. Lloyd told our correspondent that the soldiers have retreated. He also said that he is highly embarrassed that two Nigerian soldiers will be disarmed by a civilian while sharing proceeds from illegal oil activities. This is a truly a most embarrassing situation. In fact, it's very disturbing on so many levels. But here's what the chairman had to say.
The rifles have been recovered and given back to the soldiers, and that may have informed the reason they have retreated. But that is not enough. We must get the criminal. That incident at Ndele made me feel very bad as a Nigerian. I felt ashamed as a Nigerian that a civilian have the capacity to disarm two Nigerian soldiers, collected their rifles, removed their uniform. And these are people who are trained to protect the territorial integrity of this country.
Exactly. I'm sure that if those soldiers, they sound like those kind of soldiers that will put roadblock on the road and be collecting 100 naira from keke and taxi drivers. Those are the kind of soldiers, that will form illegal roadblock, And then when they see a young man who is well dressed, holding a smartphone, and they will ask him to come down to search him. Because his smartphone is an instrument of national disaster. That smartphone contains nuclear weaponry codes that would destroy Aso Rock. Ask him to come down to search him because he looks suspicious. But some civilian collected their rifles from them Now, back to the story. Dr. Lord also said the incident at Ndele community has justified his claim that some army personnel are compromising government efforts in the fight against illegal oil bunkering in the area. Here's also some of what he had to say on that.
Why were they found in that kind of compromising position? They went into the bush to meet Gift Ajoro to share from the proceeds of illegal oil bunkering, which is what I have been shouting and talking about military collaboration.
Meanwhile, the section of the 6th Division Nigerian Army has not responded to text message sent to his mobile phone by our correspondent. That's not surprising, really. I'm really wondering what the Nigerian Army is going to say about it. I'm trying to figure it out, really. I'm really trying to figure this one out. Well, time will tell. Let's wait and see. There's going to be a response from the army. But like I said, it's a tale of many woes, all combined in one major full station. The kind of thing that you can't imagine happening. You just can't imagine it happening. By the way, I'm curious how they got this gun back. Is it the Gift Ajuru who presented the gun back to them, or I'm wondering why we don't have that information, really. I'm wondering why we don't have that information. How was the gun retrieved exactly? Did they pay to get the gun back? Did the man say, okay, come and collect your... Did he drop the gun for them somewhere to go pick it up? Did they find the gun in his house? I'm just wondering, really. I'm wondering. And incidents like this make it seem like we are in an insane society. Like nobody's thinking. It's just... It's most unfortunate indeed. It's most unfortunate. But I do hope. I'm extremely optimistic about this country. I hope that the Nigerian army or the security operatives will not just get this gift fellow. Also, the officers who were said to have been involved in this incident, whose guns were taken, that they will be disciplined in line with military codes, rules, and regulations. And I hope that they will start getting intelligence. They will get intelligence as to people, the likes of Gift and their officers who are engaged in oil theft in river states and other parts of the country, apprehend them and deal with them. May God provide intelligence to them. And that's a wrap on today's round. Thanks for listening. Let's get your take on mine now. Call 0817-923-0002, 0817-923-0003 or 0007. We're also on Facebook and Twitter at Nigeria Info PH. I got some comments here, however. It's a shame. Okay, I'll come back to that in a moment. Let's take a call right now. Hard Factor, you're welcome. Please go ahead.
Good afternoon, Dayo.
Hello, go ahead.
Yes, my question is this. How did they recover the...
Hello. Once again, 0817-923-0002 or 0003 or 0007. Also called 070 0923 0923. It's a shame on the two soldiers whose weapons were taken from them. These soldiers should be dismissed by now and be court-martialed. Only Nigeria that these two soldiers whose weapons were taken will be let go, while the rest of the other soldiers will go on rampage on innocent villagers. Hello, you're welcome. All right, go ahead. Go ahead. Hello?
Hello, good afternoon.
All right, go ahead, please.
Am I on to Dayo?
Yes, you are. Go ahead.
Okay, my name is Chukudi. I'm calling from One.
Go ahead, please.
Concerning what you are saying on the air now, I've said it before, not in your station. If you want to commit any crime in Nigeria and go free now, involve the military. Whether anybody believes it or not, because I am a driver, I'm a truck driver. I'm always on the road, and I always see what is going on along the road. If you have, even if it is 60,000 liters of diesel that you want to dispose illegally, or you want to go and fill illegally, involve the soldiers and you go free, cut free. Nobody will intercept you. Nobody will ask you any question. If you want to do anything illegal in this country and go free, both police, both soldiers, all of them are involved. And I know what I'm saying. We are on air, and I cannot say everything. But this is pure truth. They should just go and caution those boys and make sure, again, that such doesn't happen. And somebody should tell the truth how they recovered the rifle. This thing has been going on many years ago. And people knew, people of the high caliber of this country, in the authorities, they knew that all this is going on. And nobody has said anything. Till it begins to kill people now, maybe they begin to kill thousands of people now before the authority will rise up. This thing should be cut short. Thank you and have a nice day.
You're welcome. Good to hear from you. Oh, the message I was going to read earlier on. It's a shame on the two soldiers. Okay, I think I did read out already. Good afternoon, Dar. They are not our men. What happened? Okay, Michael. Good evening, Dar. When lawlessness isn't cut by punishment, as has been the case in Nigeria for decades now, chaos is inevitable. The unfortunate truth is if we don't begin to get right and forward-thinking individuals into positions of power, the country might cease to exist due to the chaos and crisis that will ensue as a consequence of the lawlessness which is going on unabated. Hello, you're welcome.
Hello, Dayo.
Hello, go ahead.
Good afternoon.
Go ahead, please.
You've been at the I work in the oil field sometimes. There's no bunker that happen on the line that army and police are not aware of. If I would know, 10 and 9, when the war happened at Uproza, Tompolo between the military, it was a illegal bunker that the ship that was loaded crude oil wanted to go out of Escravos. Tompolo group said no, that they cannot take this crude away from our place. And that's what caused the 2009 war between Tompolo and the military, that two gunboats were sink down before Yaradu and I give amnesty to the militants. So there's no bunker that happened that time is not aware. The last 2 weeks, I was coming from Rumuji, Ndele. The water that the boat entered inside loaded with kerosene. And the police were collecting 1,000, 3,000 along the road because of the kerosene. So if they are not aware, why are they collecting such money? So the army that went there to collect money from the bunkers before this incident happened, they should just take it as something happened between two friends. Because they want to collect their own share, and it happened that day that the luck run out of them.
So it's
something that happened in Ndele.
You're saying it's a family affair. I think is what you're saying as well. Supposedly. Hello, hard fact to welcome.
Good afternoon.
All right, go ahead.
Please, I want to ask a question. Your point concerned, did they take? Hello, sir.
Go on. I'm sure they listen. I'm sure they hear. I'm sure they hear.
And the Oxford and all the rest, and the government itself, did they hear all this? What action did they take? Hello?
Can you wrap it up, please?
I am wrapping up. I am confused because many times we burn our credit, making suggestions, and we don't hear anything, any positive reaction from the government.
It is disturbing indeed, and I can understand the caller's confusion. Via Facebook, great Hamid Fula goes, it's quite unfortunate that such a thing can happen. Why should soldiers leave their barracks and be in the village to the extent of being disarmed by a civilian? Sometimes I ask myself, how did we get here? Emmanuel Bassi goes, this is very laughable. Well, it's a tragic comedy, I suppose. This is a clear understanding of that adage that once you play with little children, your clothes will definitely be stained. A man disarmed two soldiers and removed their uniforms. Christopher Umo goes, residents flee their homes because of crime committed by both the soldier and the court boy. You see, they push their crime to the people. It's a shame. Aleru Nwenekat goes, the problem of oil being stolen is security personnel. Until they remove their hands from there, then it will stop. Good afternoon, Dara. It's a shame of a nation, Nigeria. Nobody's going to be sanctioned or investigate the soldiers' involvement in all theft, but civilians collected their guns. Shameful indeed. Samuel Oria Zoma Centerton. It's unthinkable. It's unbelievable, really. It's unbelievable, you know. It's unbelievable. Anyways, business news comes up in a short while. Top of the hour at 4 p.m. And after that, discussions continue. Yes, indeed they do. And speaking of discussions continuing, a new law at Adama Rec announces fake election results. Another thing unthinkable. You would wonder, how could this possibly happen? But we'll look at this in the 4 o'clock hour. I'll be asking you, in your estimation, what's the biggest challenge was holding credible elections in Nigeria? Deeply stay tuned. Hard Facts returns shortly.